Hey guys, this is Nathman from HorrorPunksUnite, supporting horror punk, psychobilly, and death rock. Going to talk to you today about an up-and-coming horror punk artist known as Robby Bloodshed. I'm going to cover everything that it came with, the the artwork and the music. But first, I would like to talk about who it is produced by. It is produced by Jason from Mr. Monster. He was also the guitarist for Wednesday 13. He plays guitar for the live solo project of Argyle Goolsby. If I'm forgetting anything, please leave a comment below. And so the reason why I say I want to talk about the producer is because he's really kind of a legend in this music scene, and I think when an artist takes money and time and produces another artist, it shows that they really believe in them. And I think when that happens, especially when someone like Jason is well respected, I think that means we have to give just a little bit extra attention to what they are giving attention to, which would be Robby Bloodshed. So first things first, it came with 3 stickers, to which I will show you now. This is one of them. Reminds me very much of like an old fighting arcade video game. Kind of looks like he's in the ready stance. Pretty cool. The second one, and this is probably my favorite, is this one. And the reason why it's my favorite is because it's just his name, has a little bit of logo, and I would say it's my favorite because it is plain, in the sense that I want to go out there and I actually do want to put it on things so that other people can maybe see the artist, Google them or whatever. And that's why I like it. The third one is a really cool image right there. And I'll cover this a little bit later on a color scheme. Okay, here's the CD cover. Really awesome CD cover. Looks just like the sticker, except for a difference in color background. Now, one of the reasons why I love the cover so much is it gives you a little bit of that old school horror punk feel without feeling like he's taking any artistic style from any particular group, which I think is great. It gives him a level of uniqueness. Now I'm going to show you the back. It's a picture of him singing with a really cool Count Chocula shirt. Speaking of Count Chocula, when he sent this, he drew that, which I thought was really cool. Oh, also speaking of things, I almost forgot. He did send this picture too of him playing bass and singing. How awesome is that? I always think that little stuff like that is so awesome to give to your fans. Talking a little bit more about the back of the CD, it is reversed so you can't really see it, but it says HPU rules, Robby Bloodshed. This means a lot to me, and the reason why it means a lot to me is because when I first started HPU, I started HorrorPunksUnite for people because everybody, when I said horror punk, I said psychobilly. No one knew what that meant. And eventually, in other groups, no one really understood what death rock was, so I added that on there. So I really do this to be informative, and I do this for the music. And when the artists recognize HorrorPunksUnite and send love back, it means a lot to me because, in a sense, the music itself is responding back to me and whatever staff members I have that actually work towards this. It means so much. You have no idea. So thank you, Robby. Now I want to show you the inside of the CD. And that's a little bit. Another picture of him right there. I'll take out the disc for you to look at. Now, if you remember a little bit earlier, I did say that I would be talking about the little color scheme, and the reason why is because it, like the sticker, is purple and green. And if anyone is a long-standing HorrorPunksUnite member, especially on the Vampire Freaks version, you'd know that since the beginning, the color scheme for HorrorPunksUnite has been green and purple. So for me, that's awesome because those are my favorite colors. Now, to talk about the music. It is a shorter CD in the sense that it has only 8 tracks, and one of them is a cover for The Misfits. Now, I will talk about this song because I got a lot to say about this song towards the end, but the first thing that jumps out at you when you listen to a CD is the guitar work. And I say that because he definitely shows complexity with his guitar work. And horror punk in general doesn't have a lot of solos in it, like solo guitar work, and Robby Bloodshed actually does, which I actually think is not necessarily a good thing, but it does set him apart from other artists because it adds a level of uniqueness. And like I said, it does show a lot of skill that he's putting in his music. Now, when we think of his vocals, if you've never listened to Robby Bloodshed sing, you're going to hear what is pure horror punk vocals, but without actually sounding like he's trying to be a Danzig or a Graves clone. He's definitely singing the notes and everything just like what would be atypical of the genre, but he's not trying to copy their style, which is great. I think what makes him such a good artist, a great up and coming artist, is the sense that he is who he is. He's not trying to be something else. He's not trying to copy any other artist. Sure, he takes inspiration from a lot. Obviously, he does if there's a Misfits cover, but he's not trying to be like them. So I think he's got great vocals. I think the guitar tracks on here are very smart. And I think the way he is laying things out is really smart too. Another thing I'd like to talk about with this artist is the fact that he plays drums, he plays bass, and he plays guitar, and he sings. That's awesome. Literally, the guy is a Swiss Army knife and just does it all. It's absolutely outstanding to see a new artist actually doing all that. Now, to talk about the final song, which is Spinal Remains, it's a Danzig era Misfits song. I'm sure we've all heard it. Is the fact that he did something that if any horror punk artist who I'd never known, who I'd never heard, told me that they were going to do, I would actually advise against, simply because when you do a Misfits cover song in the horror punk genre, a genre that most people completely pass off as everybody wanting to be exactly like the Misfits, is I feel that when you cover a Misfits song, you kind of add a little bit more wood to that fire, if you know what I mean. And I would usually advise against it simply because of that. But what he did, and I didn't think would technically be possible, is he sang the song and used the same tempo as the original song. He didn't change it up much, but he sang it in a way that was uniquely his while it's still being a pure cover, if that makes sense. Like, go out, buy the CD, or just buy that one track if you want, and just you'll hear what I mean. It's definitely a cover, but it's still uniquely his without him changing the song. It's it's very it's very well done. So overall, I would have to say that this is a worthwhile CD. If you've never heard of Robby Bloodshed, go to his Bandcamp. I will be providing links below on whatever social media network you are viewing this from. I will also be including his Facebook and things like that. And if you want, and I hope you do, I would hope that you do pass along this video so more people can know about this artist. Also, if you're viewing this for the first time and you don't know what HorrorPunksUnite is, please try to find us on Facebook or on Vampire Freaks. It's all one word, and we would love to have you in the family. Alright, so this is Anathman von Stitchenstein for HorrorPunksUnite saying stay creepy, guys.